How are you guys doing? I'm going to talk a little bit about food prep tonight. This is going to be a very preliminary just to get us started because the men's program doesn't start till a week from today. So what I'm going to do is just give you an idea. I've had a lot of people ask questions, just show you how I do it. One size doesn't fit all. This is just an example of how I do it and it works for me. If you look right here, you can see I have containers, enough to take 2 a day. That gets me through to Wednesday, and then I'll pack more throughout the week. If you take a look over to this side, you'll see we have fruit that we have prepped. Later in the week, we'll cut the pineapple and the watermelon up, put it out on the table for the kids to have a healthy snack, plus they can pull from there as well. I also cook meat tonight. That'll pack all of my food and it'll go into the fridge for the kids to pull through for lunch throughout the week. And what that'll allow us to do is not have to worry about taking time to cooking and not necessarily them grabbing something unhealthy. Another thing we do is we cook dinner in addition to this. So every night throughout the dinner, all of us get involved with cooking. My kids, they also help cook. So we make sure they try to make sure, and you'll see that throughout this, as we do this video series here, you'll see that my 9-year-old will help prepare food. So will my 12-year-old, and the 4-year-old will try, but we'll see how that goes. And then, so what I do is I start out, you can see that I weigh everything. We have a scale here that we picked up on Amazon. They're really cheap. I want to say it was under $20. And then if you look right here, I have already weighed the sweet potatoes. You can Google online a baked sweet potato with skin, roughly 100 calories. So I put down, it actually is between 80 and 100. So I put down 100 to default till I'd make sure I stayed under my caloric intake for the day. But what I do is, these I prepped 2 or 3 days ago. And what you do is you just put them in the oven, 425 for about 45 minutes to an hour. When they're soft, they're done. Easiest thing to do them. We had a whole, you can see I got a few of them left over here. We cooked in 2 pans of them, and we've been eating on them for the last few days. And we won't always do sweet potatoes. Sometimes we'll do normal potatoes, but just right now I have sweet potatoes. So I've got my first meal for tomorrow set up, ready to go. I've already put my 5 ounces of potato in here. So what I'll do is here, I'll go now and I'll add my vegetable. And then for this one, I'll do, let's say, green beans. Doesn't really matter. I do a cup of green beans. Green beans and broccoli, things like that, they're very good as far as not being very caloric dense. So that's getting about a cup, and that's going to run me about 30 calories. And all I did, again, was Google that. I don't know all that off the top of my head. I can Google, and I'm going to Google steamed vegetables because these are frozen. But what will happen is I'll put my meat in here, and when I cook it in the microwave or reheat it in the microwave, it'll steam out of the juices from the meat, and it gives it a nice flavor, a nice taste. So what I do now is, for this meal, I'm going to do pork. So I do all the meat at 4 ounces. So I will actually take the effort here to go ahead and get 4 ounces of pork. And I couldn't have actually done that any better. So that's 4 ounces of pork. And that'll have my first meal for tomorrow prepped. It'll go in just like that. And when I get to work tomorrow, I'll pull the skin off the potato. I'll throw it in the microwave, couple minutes, bam, I got a meal. And what I'll do is I'll calculate the calories that was in this meal. So if you look right here, I went ahead and did this a little earlier. You don't need to look at my bad handwriting here. But what I did is I took and I 4 ounces of pork, because I always try to keep the meat around 4 ounces or so. So I go down to here and I looked up pork. That's 173 calories. So I'm gonna say 180 just for math purposes, and that's going to be 30. So that's going to put me about 210. That's going to be 100. That's going to put me about 310. So you can see right here, I write it on the outside of my containers. So I get my Sharpie. I go right here, and that's not a very good Sharpie. I write 310. And that way I know when I grab this, anytime throughout the week, this may not be my meal for tomorrow, but I know when I grab this, it's 310. Now what I will do is I will prepare 2 of these for each day. So tomorrow morning when I get up, I will show you my breakfast. I will eat breakfast at home. I don't need to prep that. But what I'm going to do is, if you'll come over here and look right here, I'm going to cook this up a little bit later. And this is going to go in my omelet tomorrow. Onions, peppers, celery, carrots, and some mushrooms. And those will I'll put those in. I'll sear those in. A little bit of olive oil goes in those. Cook those up. Those will go in the fridge. I'll do 1 egg, maybe 4 or 5 egg whites, just depending on how hungry I am. And then I'll cook that for breakfast in the morning. And I'll make sure, if I get up in a hurry, and that doesn't happen, hopefully that doesn't happen, but if that does, I'll pull from this and eat something for breakfast in the morning, something that we already have pre-cooked. I'll grab some fruit, maybe some salmon, something like that. And that's it. I'll just rinse and repeat, and whatever the calories happen to turn out to be, it whether I'm pulling from the chicken, because I have chicken breast, I have chicken thighs, I have pork tenderloin, and I have salmon. So I'll mix a variety of these to get a variety of different nutritional values, just to get a different, don't get bland eating chicken breast every day. And then I'll change the caloric amount on this. And what I will do is whatever I have when I get home, left over at the end of the day, that's how much dinner I will eat. So I will get more in depth in this as we move out through the next couple of weeks, but I just want to give you tonight to show you how I'm going to prep for this week. And if you have any questions, just let me know and we'll answer them the best we can. Thank you, guys.